Hi friends, I am back in the car again, headed to do something that most women my age probably need to do or should do. It's something that could potentially save our lives, and it is called a mammogram. I know, we don't really enjoy this process, do we? So this is a mammogram, for those of you who haven't had one yet, is where you put your boob into this contraption and then they squeeze it really flat, and it can be painful. I've heard some people say that it's excruciating. I've had it done a couple of times before, and it's uncomfortable, but it hasn't been excruciating for me. But still, who wants to take a couple hours out of their day to go and have this procedure done? It's not really the most exciting thing. However, it is exciting to think that you can live a long, healthy life. That is part of my excitement. That is something that I want to do. So instead of defining this as a negative experience and something that, instead of resisting it, I guess I could say, instead of resisting it and putting negative energy towards this and considering it like a wasted day, what I did is went through a little process to change my vibration regarding this procedure. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit while I'm on the way there. So what I did was, number one, I went into my heart. That's how I start my processes. So I go into my heart. You can do this by placing your hand on your heart, or you can also just feel or visualize kind of the energy in your heart. That works too. But I put my hand on my heart, and that helps me kind of focus my attention. And then I take 3 deep breaths, and I visualize or sense that I'm taking the breath in through my heart. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now to get more relaxed. So breathe in and down. Breathe in and down. Breathe in and down. Okay. All right. So I'm a little distracted by the traffic, but that's okay. I'm feeling a little bit less tense all over. So I want to also make it a point to notice where I'm clenching in my body or feeling any tension, and make a conscious effort to relax the tension. So I just did that. Relax. Okay, so I'm feeling really relaxed. So that's the first thing that I did. The second thing that I do is I flow love and gratitude towards everyone involved in this process, including myself. So since today's a mammogram, I think it makes sense to start, with the ladies. So what are you thankful for regarding your breasts? For me, I nursed all 3 of my children, so I'm very thankful that I was able to use my breasts for that process, for nurturing my children and giving them a great start, with breast milk. Maybe you don't have any children, or nursing wasn't your thing, but maybe your breasts are a part of your sexual experience. I know for me, definitely my breasts and like stimulating the breasts and all of that stuff. I don't want to get into like soft porn or anything during this, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful for that experience and having that pleasure that exists. So I'm really grateful for my breasts for that. And so just take a minute, and maybe grab a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, a piece of paper and a pencil, or use your phone, your computer, whatever's handy to use. Just grab something and just take a minute, pause this video, take a minute and just write down some things that you're grateful for as far as your breasts go. Like, what is it, that you are so happy that you've had them for? And remember those times. It might spark some high vibes there. So go ahead and take a minute and do that. Okay, you're back. So that whole process is amazing. If you want to take it to the next level, what you can do, and I did this in the shower this morning, and this is a great great tool that you can use like right now or before you go to your mammogram appointment. Self-massage is amazing to show gratitude and love. So if you're in the shower, maybe use, the body wash, or if you're outside of the shower, just massaging those areas, massage your breasts and send love to them, send gratitude to them. I mean, you might have 50-something-year-old breasts like I do, and maybe they're not as perky as they once were, but those breasts have been with you for a long time. They've seen, hopefully, a lot of action. So you can thank them for their part in those experiences. And just flow love and gratitude to them, no matter, what size or shape or elasticity they are. Do that. Go through that process and really send love to them. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing would be to think about the whole mammogram experience, like what that is designed for. That is such a powerful tool. That whole process is such a powerful tool that women can use to help themselves live longer and live healthier lives. We all know that if you catch cancer in its early stages, especially breast cancer, it's really treatable, and sometimes, without chemotherapy. So that's something to be super grateful for. So just, take a moment and maybe write down some things regarding that whole process that you can be grateful for. The doctors that are going to be involved in maybe looking at your test results, thank them. My goodness, they go to school for so long, 8 years or more, to be a doctor, and so much training and stress involved in that, but they do that, and oftentimes it's because they want to make a difference. So just send them love and gratitude. And then also all of the people that are involved in the whole industry, the ones that, from the people who make all of the fabulous machinery to the techs that you're going to see on your way into your appointment, the people who work at the receptionist. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be a very clean environment, air conditioned, comfortable. The people there are going to be super friendly, and they're going to treat you really well, and they're going to try to make sure that you have an amazing experience. So just think about all of them and their families, and they're doing a great job. Support, they have a job to do, and their income goes to provide things for their family. So think about that part too. Like, we're all connected in some way. So that's a great thing to do, like flow love and gratitude to all the people and all the equipment and all of the training, all the knowledge that went into this whole process. So that's awesome. Hopefully you took some time to do that, to make your list of all of the things that you could be grateful for, and flow some love in that direction. And then the last thing that I want you to do is to visualize the whole process. So from the time that you walk in the door, try to drive without my sunglasses on because I think that's better for communication. From the time that you walk in the door, from the receptionists that are working the front desk, they're going to greet you and smile at you and be happy to see you. And how are you going to show up? Are you going to show up as somebody who's down in the dumps, or are you going to show up as your 2.0 version? Because remember, we want to be our best version. In our 2.0 life, we're going to have a lot of the same experiences that we do in our 1.0 life, where we're going to get a mammogram, for example. And we want to show up as our best selves. So how are you going to greet the receptionist? And how are you going to feel when you go in there? You're going to feel relaxed and happy and grateful that you have the ability to do this for yourself, whether it's your insurance paying for this or cash that you've been able to earn. Maybe you have a significant other or a parent that's paying for this for you. send love their way as well. So anyway, you're visualizing going into the mammogram place, and when you get in there, take yourself through that whole process. Like, what is that going to feel like in your best case scenario? How are you going to feel? What kind of procedure are you going to experience? If you've never had a mammogram before, it's probably a good idea to do a little bit of research and beforehand, so that you know what to expect when you get in there, and then really think about your best case scenario. Walking in, sitting down, getting undressed, eventually, doing the whole procedure. Are you going to be lighthearted maybe and joke around with the technician that's helping you? Maybe you're going to find something positive to say to him or her, probably her. Just imagine the best case scenario, because what we often do is we imagine the worst thing that could happen, and we replay that in our minds over and over again. And what that does is oftentimes it leads to us having that exact same experience. So we want to be our 2.0 version, show up a little bit differently, and imagine our best case scenario.